twilight caresses the air.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us here on Rocking the Valley and on Facebook and over on YouTube. Our special guest tonight is Phyllis Chapell. Phyllis, hello.
Oh, hello there. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks, Tom, for inviting me.
It is great to see you again. A special night for us. Phyllis is a singer-songwriter who embraces multiple genres, as she says in her writings and on her webpage. It's all about the song. From whatever genre, it doesn't matter. She picks a song that speaks to her personally, and she writes songs that also speak very personally. And that's the side of Phyllis that you'll see tonight, original singer-songwriter stuff. Her songs, when you see her out performing, are from the Great American Songbook to the Great World Music Songbook as well. Think Joni Mitchell meets Billie Holiday, meets Nina Muscuri, meets Dulce Pontes?
Dulce Pontes, Portugal.
She does it much more beautifully than I do.
Oh,
Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. I'm a big fan of yours. I love your music, so it's kind of nice. I'll get to hear your stuff too.
Thank you, and I'm a huge fan of your music as well. We share some genre stuff in common. We like jazz together and other closely jazz-associated genres. So I met Phyllis in Philadelphia probably about 15 years ago through the Philadelphia Area Songwriters Alliance, PASA. I keep mentioning them every few shows. It's a group currently run by Rob Lincoln and Heidi Hoskins and Christine Winchester Perry, a really nice group of folks. Yeah.
They're lovely. Yeah.
They're lovely. As we start every week, we do 3 rounds of music, and in between, we talk about our guest artist. We talk about their music, their website, where you can find their music, where they're gigging, and anything else the guest artist wants to talk about music. So it's pretty wide open. I'll open each of the 3 rounds for our headliner. I'll try to keep it brief and to the point. And let's get started with the music right away. This is an original song I wrote called She Flew Away. I slowly leaned in to steal one more kiss. I had one thing left to say, something that might explain all of this. But when I closed my eyes, she flew away. She is the goddess, she makes the planets move. Time and tide, they hold her sway. She walks like Bacall, a sensuous groove. When I closed my eyes, she flew away. We fumbled in the dark with unlit candles in our hands, searching for love's spark, crying, someone please understand. We fumble in the dark with unlit candles in our hands, searching for love's spark, crying, someone please understand. I held her near, I bared my soul. She is the night, she is the day. But the harder I tried, the further my goal. And as I fell to my knees, she flew away. As I fell to my knees, she flew away. As I fell to my knees, she flew away. thank you so kindly. Yet another song about unrequited love, because there aren't enough, obviously. So.
Just one question, Tom. Are you broadcasting from the International Space Station?
I am. Tony's in the front room. You saw by his display of monitors, and I'm actually in the back in the studio. We also, Phyllis, I mentioned this, and we were chatting about coming on the show, where the songwriter talks a little bit about each song. And I guess the only thing I'd like to share about the craft from that song is it tries to be light and bouncy, with references to Lauren Bacall, which makes it a great song just by itself if you do that. And then I tried to hide the darkness in the very short bridge. You know, we fumble in the dark, unlit candles in our hands, searching for love's spark, crying someone, please understand, and then bang, right back out to the light poppy stuff. So I find sometimes when I do that, it keeps the song from getting too dark, I guess.
Really don't like to have it too dark, right? You have to have a glimmer of hope in there, or some lightness, right?
That's very, very true. Very, very true. What were you thinking of sharing for the first round? And you can talk about the tune before or after, or both, whatever you want to do.
I thought my first tune would be the most recent tune that I've written, and actually for people who might be following me, it's gotten some play. I've put it up on Facebook, and it's been as a solo, a duo, and with my band. So people might have heard this before, but I did write this during the pandemic, and thinking that, you know, it might be a good time for all of us to dig deep and discover more about ourselves, about the people around us, about the world, the universe. But it's not enough to dig deep. We gotta dig deeper, because there's always more to the story. So here it goes. Dig deep, 'cause there's always something more. Dig deep, reach in and explore. Dig deep, and when you really think you're sure, dig deeper. Dig deeper. You think you understand your moods and inclinations. You think you have a handle on all your expectations. Is your perspective skewed? Are your questions too few? Then I say to you, dig deep, 'cause there's always something more. Dig deep, find those hidden doors. Dig deep, and when you really think you're sure, dig deeper. Gotta dig deeper, yeah. Do you think they're telling you the honest to goodness truth? Do you think they're navigating the best possible route? Do they have your best interests at heart? Can you take their motives apart? I'm gonna tell you from the start. Always something more. Dig deep, right down to the core. Do you really comprehend? Do you have an explanation? Are we living in some kind of computer simulation? Do we know what's going on to build our lives upon? Or are we all just some pathetic little pawns? Can you say with any certainty that your will is free, that beyond the universe is empty? There's such a thing as destiny. If not, then you'll just have to agree. Dig deep. And after that, dig
Wow, that is wonderful.
Thank you.
Very, very relaxed but intense delivery. That's kind of a unique combination.
Oh, well, thank you. I didn't realize that. You never really know yourself, you know. It's hard to see yourself.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Can I ask you about the song? Where did it come from? Because it's full of great insight.
Well, as I say, I wrote it during the beginning parts of the pandemic, and
Right.
you know, that's the only silver lining to this whole, you know, bizarre situation that you kind of are almost forced to, you know, to stay inside and think about things and as I said, dig deep and explore, you know, different things, you know, whatever it is that you need to explore or want to explore, you know. So
Yeah, that's very true. I notice a lot of people are taking advantage of the situation, and some people more than others, and even people who are. There are some bumpy days. These are tough times, and
yeah,
that's certainly never let an opportunity go by, whether it's has a dark lining on the outside or not, I guess.
right. Yeah, there's definitely some days when I really don't do anything, you know. Just, you know, eat and drink and be merry, you know.
I usually, when I get tired like that and I feel my creativity tank is empty, I usually make that one of my tech days to go edit videos or enter my song lyrics or arrange my files, because I realize there's nothing else going to be going on today.
Right. I just play with my cat, you know. It's just like, he doesn't even want to play with me, but you know.
Yeah. Hey, I got to ask you. So was guitar your first instrument?
No, I studied piano when I was a really little girl, but I didn't practice very much. So when I was kind of, maybe I was like 12 or 13, I picked up the guitar and took few lessons and got into playing folk guitar, and influenced by, you know, people like Joan Baez and then of course Joni Mitchell. She was like a very big influence on me. That guitar became my instrument.
Yeah, and did you always sing?
I always did sing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is my real voice. The guitar isn't my voice. It's just that I accompany myself with it. My voice is my voice.
It's interesting. I view myself as a guitar player who forces himself to sing.
Ah, yes, everybody's different. Right, that's right.
Yeah.
But I think I'm really glad that I did pick up the guitar, because, you know, times like this when I really can't have anybody else here, you know, playing music with me, you know, I can play with myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it worked out good.
And when did you start gigging?
Yeah, it was later on, because I didn't really know what I wanted to be doing.
Yeah.
So it was really not till the 90s that I got into gigging, and I met a guy who became my musical partner, Dan Kleiman, and we did a duo, and then we started the band, which is now called Ciora. I call it Phyllis Chapell and Ciora now. So that's when I started gigging. So it's been a long time now, right? The 90s, 2000, oh God.
Wow.
I must be getting old, I don't know. Feels like a lot of time has gone by.
And I noticed that on your website, which by the way is phyllischapell.com, let me spell that for you, everyone out there. It's Phyllis. Chapell is Chapell, so it's phyllischapell.com.
Yeah,
and you'll see on her offerings and her projects page where she talks about each of these projects, including Ciora.
Right. I have all these different things I do. I seem to be, I'm not only eclectic in my repertoire, but I'm eclectic in, you know, in how I like to perform. I perform as a solo and as a duo and with my band and with other bands too. I perform with a few other ensembles, so it makes life kind of interesting. actually.
Yeah, now those ensembles, I've noticed this past year, you're doing some great music with Ken Ulancy, or you call yourselves World Music, including some neat live outdoor music streams you guys did this summer. And what's that project about? Because he's a wonderful player.
Oh yeah, Kenny's fantastic, and he's like kind of like me. He plays all different kinds of music, and he's just so generous, and he's so creative, so that he can just come onto the stage with you, and then whatever you're doing, he can just feel it and put out this beautiful things with you and enhance whatever you're doing. So it's really a joy. We only did we maybe did only 3 live streams this summer, it turned out. And now it's getting colder, so I don't know, because we have to be outside. We can't go inside. So
Right.
We were doing it in his backyard, but I don't know what we're going to do. We might have to try to figure out how to do something virtually, sharing screens with each other.
Yeah, those were wonderful concerts, and I remember when those upper 90s heat waves came. Everyone had to postpone some of those outdoor ones, and I think that hit you guys once or twice too.
Yeah, we did it anyway. We went on, sweated through it. It was fun though.
So you did a project with Steve Jewett. Can you talk about that one?
Oh yeah, Steve Jewett is my guy, and he's from Harrisburg, and he's a really great guitar player. He doesn't do much jazz, but he's a rocker, and he plays country, and he plays blues, and he plays folk, and he plays classical. He's going to also accompany me on percussion. And he also plays the mandolin and the ukulele and the banjo, and he plays the sitar. He's an incredible sitar player, so he's very, very, very talented. And so we've done some duos where we kind of mix it all up.
Yeah,
and it's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, I noticed he plays a beautiful Godin guitar, which you can synthesize off of. They're a great Canadian guitar manufacturer. And,
right. I don't think he has that one anymore. You guys are like these gearheads, and you're always like buying new ones, selling the old ones. I don't understand all that, but like I won't even ask you how many guitars you have, because I know you probably can't reveal it. You're not supposed to reveal it to anybody.
I can't, definitely.
Okay, yes.
However, you being a good guitarist, I'm sure I could ask you about that guitar, and you could tell me a lot about that guitar.
Well, this is a Cremona guitar. It's from Bulgaria, and it's like a hybrid fusion thing, because it's classical, but it's also electric. So it's got this little preamp inside it, and you hook it up with a jack, and it doesn't have a great acoustic sound, but it has some acoustic sound. It's not like an real electric guitar, but I got it. It's very thin. I think it was about 15 years ago or something. I hurt my shoulder, so I had to get a really thin guitar. So it's.
Wow.
So it's just served me very well. I think I've only had this one for about 10 years now.
So were you playing nylon string prior to that?
Yeah, I've pretty much played nylon string. Yeah, kind of like I started playing folk, and I was playing a little bit of classical, and then I was playing Brazilian. I got into Brazilian music, and so Brazilian, it's a lot of plucking kind of thing. So it works well with a nylon string guitar. So that's what I've been doing now. I don't really do any. I don't play with picks or anything. I just play with my fingers. So that's what works for me. That
is neat. That is wonderful. Let's get on to the second round of music, sharing a little bit about your musical background and when you started and your first instrument, and a quick peek at some of the projects. Then we can revisit that too, because you are very versatile, and in this day and age, I think because of the nature of the music business, regardless of what's going on with COVID, I think you have a really great perspective on it, Phyllis, that you have to view yourself as a dynamic agent interacting with a lot of people and a lot of players. And it seems like you've really got that.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Thank you.
Yeah. I kind of do that too. I have a duo I play with once in a while, and a blues trio, and it's great.
Yeah, it's fun. But you're good solo. You can do it. You can.
Thank you. As much as I smile and laugh, I'm an analytically oriented introvert who trembles every time I have to perform. So
Yeah. It's tough. It's not the easiest thing in the world.
no, it's not. But your phrase about "it's the song" has been a phrase I've used my whole performing career. When I select songs from the real book or songs from great contemporary artists like Jimmy Webb or someone, it's because the song has really hit me in some way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like you, I dedicate myself to the lyric every time I perform that song.
Yeah,
The lyric
right.
is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind
What
of a
it's about. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. Speaking of lyrics, here's a tune I wrote in December of 2019. And it's a song called Coming Your Way. And it's about where change might be hiding and what you might want to do when change taps you on the shoulder, so to speak. It's in the shift of the wind, in the lowing of the light, in the first hint of feeling restless where change does abide. It's in the first mighty geese riding north, in a bed of ferns crackling to life. It's when your heart learns it can't live alone. You know it is time. So take that step, small and unsteady. Take that breath, one at a time. Hold the now in the palm of your hand, sacred and wild. Steady your heart, steady your gaze, steady ahead, there's only today. Time and love, the great healers, they are coming your way. Coming your way. Your role. It's the day the ice breaks on the great river. Soon love will flow. So take that step, small and unsteady. Take that breath, just one at a time. Hold the now in the palm of your hand, sacred and wild. Steady your heart, steady your gaze, steady ahead, there's only today. Time and love, the great healers, they're coming your way. Coming your way.
That was beautiful. I have a question for you. Like this song you're writing as like it's in second person, like you're talking to the other person there. Like so sometimes I think that first song, was it in the first person? So I don't know what you'd like to do better, like to write in the first person, or write to somebody saying you do this, like that kind of thing. It's always an interesting question for songwriting.
That is a great question. I usually write in the third person, and I try to create a character who is in a situation or coming out of a situation, and the situation reveals them. Whether or not it's an accumulation of people I know or people I imagine, or whether it's autobiographical, put in the third person, which is very safe.
Yeah.
Very safe. And sometimes, like that song, it's in the second person, speaking to someone who's a third person or a first person, but I write it in the second person. I've been doing more of that, and I think it's because the most common theme in my songwriting the last few years has been being on the precipice of change. That there is this, many things are being overcome. I think good things will happen, and the work has been done, and the insight has been gained, and you are there. It's going to happen, and I'm trying to write about the precipice.
Yeah, that's a really great way of expressing that, because I think that's a lot of what I'm doing too.
Cool.
Interesting, yeah.
Cool. Some first-person stuff, not too often.
Yeah, I think I do some first person. In fact, I think I'm actually in the song that I was going to do is actually this first and second person. I'm confused. But I try to make it into something that builds, to first to second person. Or a we, or like a we.
Ah, cool.
I, and then it's a we.
Yeah, most of my social commentary songs are we things. Yeah. Well, neat. Well, that's neat. This is the fun part of the show, folks. We say this every week, where we get into these 2 or 3 nuggets of the great veins of gold we find, where we try to play 6 or 7 songs and make sure you're getting enough music, and we try to let you know all about our guest and what their great background is and where you can find their music and their website. But the sprinkle we like to add through it is, let's talk about the craft. People love music, and they love unique songwriting they don't hear a lot. And so I appreciate everyone in the audience listening. That this is the differentiator for us. This is why we're different, and it's just great sharing this kind of talk with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this. I'm going to be listening every week now.
You weren't.
Oh, sorry.
I'm teasing you.
Monday nights, wow, yeah.
Oh, I know.
Monday nights, now I know what I'm going to be doing.
Well, the neat thing is it'll live on. It lives on as a post in my page and in Rocking the Valley page, and we're migrating over to YouTube, where we'll set up a video list there as well. So again, obviously, you're right. Everyone can't watch everything live, but they'll be around. They'll be around. So that is neat. So what were you thinking of sharing in the second round?
All right, well, so this is something that's it's something similar to the theme of your theme, so that's kind of interesting. I wrote this song 10 years ago, 2010. It's when my partner died and my husband was diagnosed with a terminally ill disease. So I was trying to process or grieve or something, and so I've been tweaking this song for about 10 years now. So I think I'm finally onto something now. I call it Poised for Flight. I loved a man who lost his mind. Another one died before his time, leaving me high and dry. Always something left to lose. Sometimes I slide into the blues. Will I ever come out on the other side? I've been through some hard times. I just didn't realize life is not fair. But as long as I can say I'm still alive, I might cry, but I won't despair. air, wind blowing through my hair, stars lighting up the night, watching autumn leaves fall, redwood trees standing tall. I can always find a reason to smile. Busted, filibustered, thrown upside down, torn inside out, been sucked in and sucked dry. Then I looked around and round and round, and I figured out gotta claim the gifts of the luck I found before I die. I've been through some hard times. Now I realize life is not fair, but as long as I can say I'm still alive, I might cry, but I won't despair, 'cause I can always find a reason, always find a reason, always find a reason to. Feeling that first day of spring, learning a brand new thing, walking on the beach mile after mile, kissing my best friend's cheek, I can't play hide and seek, I can always find a reason to smile, waiting just out of sight, beneath the dying embers of sorrow. There are angels in the night, angels of hope for tomorrow, and they're poised for flight. Life's a ride over a waterfall. How do we keep from drowning in the face of it all? But we're all made of water, aren't we? Just gotta survive the night. You just gotta know you can fly. We've all been through hard times. Just gotta realize life is not fair, but as long as we can say we're still alive, we might cry, but don't despair, 'cause we can always find a reason, always find a reason, always find a reason to. Watching folks walking proud, singing their song in love, like birds soaring in the sky, feeling the shared humanity and the shared history. We can always find a reason to smile, always find a reason, always find a reason, always find a reason to. Always find a reason, always find a reason. We can always find a reason to smile, and we're poised for flight.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Thank you. It's my first time performing it.
Are you kidding?
First time. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh boy.
Thank you for doing that. Thank you for sharing it.
Oh, wow. Thank you. It was chock full of stuff there.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing that as well. Songwriting is fun and humorous and insightful in work, and sometimes it's a lot of sharing.
Yeah, cathartic maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Yes, it's like something functional. You have to go through the function of writing it to get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right. It's true.
yeah. That is neat. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Neato. Hey, so we were talking about Phyllis's website here. So let me do that, and I can do a quick screen share here.
Oh, okay.
and we tested this earlier and it worked. So let's hope this
Okay.
hope it works here. And we should see.
There it is.
There it is. Let me get my thing out of the way here, and oh, I see. I am in the thing. Okay, I thought I was still in the browser.
Yeah.
The drawing here is fantastic. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, that's just a dear friend of mine named Barbara Berry. She's this wonderful artist. And so she said, I want to paint you. And so she painted me, and then I realized, oh my God, this is going to have to be a CD, my CD cover. So it's a cover of one of my later CDs, The Naked World. Yeah. And then I decided, well, maybe I'll make it the cover picture on my website too.
It is fantastic.
So,
Speaking of CDs and where folks can find it, I guess Apple Music / iTunes is the primary place.
well, you could just go to my website and you just look at shop, and then it'll take you to the iTunes, and now everything is so confusing now because CD Baby doesn't. They say they don't sell the actual physical CDs anymore. So I put a little note on there, say if you want to buy a physical CD, which few people still like to do that, there's a few people out there that they can just they can write to me, contact me, and I'll send them, make arrangements to send them CDs. I actually put on my newsletter, I said, you know what, I want to move some of my products. So if you send me, I don't know what it's going to be, $20 or $25, I'll send you all 7 or 8 of my CDs.
Wow.
I just want to share the music because usually you sell them on your gigs, and they don't really have any gigs. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I want to share that. So
yeah, I actually have exactly what you just said highlighted there on the screen share.
okay, yeah, I see
Where folks
that.
can get a hold of you there.
Thanks for doing that.
The latest project is For Love, and it's 4 great American songbook standards. Can you talk about that very unique project, which is getting a lot of great press?
Oh, wow, yeah, thank you. Actually, what it was is Bob Perkins, who is one of the beloved DJs on WRTI. I hate to mention another radio station, but he wrote to me and he said, I love your voice, and I would love to hear you doing standards. And I actually do a lot of standards in my shows, but I had never really recorded that many of them. It's just one, every once in a while on a CD I would have a standard or two. But so I decided, and actually he wasn't feeling too well at a certain point, I think it was a year ago, and I thought, I got to get these done real fast because I want him to have this. Yeah. So I only did 4 tunes. I'm drink some water here.
Yeah, BP with the GM. One of my favorite DJs.
Yeah. So I just decided to do these 4 tunes and get it out real quickly and send it to him just as a tribute to him. And so
when we can see the tunes listed here on our screen share, that's My Baby Just Cares for Me, which of course Nina Simone had the killer cover for.
Yeah.
Loverman, I
Loverman.
Thought About You, and Nature Boy.
Yeah, those are some of my favorite tunes, and I had such a great band. My Siora guys, it's Dave Posmentier on the keys, and it was 2 different bass players, Dave Brody on upright bass and Rob Swanson on upright and electric, and then there's Doug Herlinger on the drums, and they was just so awesome. So it was a real joy to do that CD. Well, it's an EP actually because it's only 4 tunes.
Yeah, it is wonderful. It's just.
Thank you. And he's played, and Bob Perkins, he's played it a lot of times on his show, which is really nice. I also actually have a website under Reverb Nation. I don't know if people go to reverbnation.com.
Got it.
It says / Phyllis Chapell, and then I'm also Facebook. I'm on Facebook. It's actually facebook.com / Phyllis Chapell and Siora, because when I originally put it up, it was all about my band. But now I can't really change it. They don't really let you change things. It's hard because I don't know, for some reason I had created an extra Facebook page and I tried to delete it, but it wouldn't delete. So
that happens with your second page. Yeah.
And then the musician page is off of the main thing. That the musician page is the facebook.com / Siora Jazz. So it's all very confusing. But,
Well, you can get to everything, as you can see, on the main.com page, which is phyllischapell.com. And as you can see, bio, the different project offerings she's been in, her most recent news, music you can listen to, including some Spotify streams you can take a look at, some great photos, some really neat performance videos are there as well. Her events calendar is always up to date. Are there any, you've got a gig coming up on the 10th. Did you want to talk about that?
yeah, I was asked to do a Linda Ronstadt tribute at the Woodmere Art Museum. So it's this coming Saturday, the 10th. It's 2 different shows, 5 to 6, and then I guess 7 to 8. It's going to be an outdoor thing at the Woodmere, and I'm really excited about that because I never did any Linda Ronstadt tunes, and I always loved her. She's just amazing.
She is amazing.
What's interesting about her is that she was kind of eclectic too. She did a lot of the pop and country and even folk when in the early days, and then she did she crossed these genres, and her managers told her, "Don't do this. You're going to ruin your career." And then she ended up doing it. It was really successful. She did a American Standards, Great American Songbook with Nelson Riddle, and then she did the Mexican thing, songs for my father.
Song for my father, a very great project.
Wow.
She grew up in Tucson, and she grew up with all that music.
You know all about her, don't you?
I do. I do. So you're appearing with the Arpeggio Jazz Ensemble.
Yes.
Again, folks, that is this Saturday, October 10th from 5 to 8 p.m. There'll be 2 shows in there. There's a phone number for the Woodmere Art Museum. Do they need to call that for a ticket?
They need to get the tickets, I believe, online at the woodmere.org. If you have to look on the
Got it.
website.
So it's the woodmeremuseum.org.
woodmereartmuseum.org.
Woodmereartmuseum.org.
And then they have on there you go to music at the Woodmere, and there's a page there, and you have to get a ticket because I think it's socially distanced, so there's not a huge amount. Although it's a big space there in front of the Woodmere, but I guess it's they might have a limit to the number of people.
Right.
So
Right.
it should be fun.
Have a great gig, and thank you for sharing different parts of your website and where folks can reach out and find your stuff. It's a really well-organized, fun website, folks. Make sure you get out there and take a peek at it.
Thank you. I have all these videos. Like I did so many videos with my producer, Rodney Wittenberg, and some of them are storylines, some of them are live performances, some of them are just crazy videos of stuff. And I just have a lot of them. They're really fun. So, check them out. And
This is
hope you enjoy
Songwriters
them.
Alive with Tom Cooney every Monday night at 7 o'clock on Tom Cooney on Facebook and on YouTube with Rocking the Valley and on rockingthevalley.com. Our special guest this week is Phyllis Chapell. Phyllis, thank you again for coming this week.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I'm having a great time.
We're having a lot of fun.
I don't know about anybody else, but I'm having a great time.
Me too. This is fun. We've already been through 2 rounds of music, and we've talked about where you can find some of Phyllis's neat stuff. And be sure that you do visit the website, because I gotta tell you, the compliments and recognition that Phyllis has received are not only well deserved, they're just wonderful to read, including from Bob Perkins from WRTI and a bunch of other really nice folks. And it's just an honor to have you here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's an honor for me to be here.
Let's get on with the third and final round of music, and I'll open up. This is fantastic. The other great thing is I get to open up for Phyllis, which is like really neat. So let's get on to the third round. We kind of have a jazzier theme for the show tonight, as you can see, and that's wonderful. It's great that people listen to all styles of music and open up their ears, and it's good to have a performer like Phyllis. I write some jazz and blues as well. So here's a song I wrote in 2016, and it was written on the banks of the Delaware River. It's called Dancing on the Moon. of twilight caresses the air. The river mist hangs sweet and fair. The evening swallows, they whisper their tune, dancing on the moon. Why have the stars called us here? What is this magic pulsing everywhere? I close my eyes, I hope that I'm soon dancing on the moon. From a timeless shadow you appear, resplendent in your smile. And when our eyes meet, I am off my feet, I'm dreaming all the while. Moment, it never comes. Yet here we dream inside of one. Our lips touch, the world is new, dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon.
Oh, I love that song. I absolutely love that song. That's so beautiful. Wow. You got all those jazz chords in there?
I try to keep myself honest by playing them once in a while.
Yeah. That was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it was written on the banks of the Delaware River. Wow. After I had been there the night before, listening to live music and playing live music. And it really was one of those late spring evenings where the temperature must have been 70, the air must have been 70. It was still, it was dusk. The birds were chirping. There was such a sense of peace and calm. And I wrote it purposefully in the style of a 1940s jazz ballad.
Sounds like that, yeah.
And I have this image of a woman in a beautiful gown dancing on a patio near the river and a man in a tuxedo. And they're just dancing to that song and the moon is coming up.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah.
It's a lovely image. Wow, I love that.
Yeah. Well, thank you very kindly. I kind of like that song too. It's kind of neat. Yeah. So anyway, our guest has been this week Phyllis Chapell, and please make sure that you keep up with her on phyllischapell.com. Make sure you find her music directly on the website on the shop page, or on Apple Music /iTunes. You can find it, and a bunch of other places as well. There are great links to hear her music on the website and on other pages too. This Saturday, she's at the Woodmere Art Museum. You have to go, though, and get a ticket beforehand. So look for their music program on the woodmereartmuseum.org website. And she has so many great projects. So make sure you know which project you're looking for, because Phyllis is in some of them. And it's great to hear her play live as well. It has been a gas having you here this week. I love your style of music, love your voice, love your guitar playing.
Thank you.
And love your songwriting, which is, of course, the purpose of this show. Thank you for sharing some of your great original music.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm just tickled pink that you asked me, and I just enjoyed it so much.
Me too. It's really a gas. What were you thinking of sharing with folks for the final round here?
Okay, all right. I thought maybe I would do like just about the very first song I ever wrote. Just
Wow.
about. I wrote it in the 90s. There go your eyes. They're turning blue, hazel and green. Reflecting the sun. I look inside them and I see what they might do to me. I got no place to hide and nowhere to run, no, no. It's like being in the middle of an ocean. I'm open up to everything. It's like something took control of my emotions. I think I get it. Vulnerability. 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 Well, nothing applies except the warm touch of your hand. There go the things I've learned. My verbability. I can't disguise how you make a note out of me and how I wanna be right where your fingers land. You know, the last time I had this feeling, I was fine and sledding down a hill when I couldn't turn the runners, and my heart stood still. It's the joy of the wild, like being a child again. Joy of the wild, kinda like being a child again, again and again and again. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling kind of vulnerable these days. Really for about 6 or 7 months. But you know, vulnerability isn't all that bad. It can keep your minds and your hearts open to possibilities. Not just the possibility of getting sick and dying, you know, but the possibility of things like justice and peace and love and joy. Joy, joy, joy. I love joy. The joy of the world. You know, you got me feeling like a child again. We are. Ba 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 ba.
Wonderful song.
Thank you so much.
I can't believe that's one of the first ones you wrote.
One of the first ones, yeah, just about.
That is fascinating. As you can tell by Phyllis's creativity and joy, and I made this comment to you before, Phyllis. You're very good at performing in a close virtual setting. You really do treat it like a stage. You're animated and you don't hold anything back from your performance. That's such a joy to watch, and thank you for bringing that kind of energy.
Oh wow, thank you. It is different. It's definitely different when you're just looking right into a camera, a little camera lens. But I see you out there, so it's nice because I at least I got you. I can look at you.
Well, you can obviously tell why the great Bob Perkins, the legendary WRTI jazz DJ, said about Phyllis. When I hear Phyllis sing, I think of some of those fine lady singers from back in the day, Ella, Billy, and Sarah. One of the finest singing voices I've heard in many, many years.
That's very sweet. Thank you for saying that.
It's very, very true. I want to thank you again for being here. PhyllisChapell.com, folks, is the pointer site to get to all of her neat stuff. And I want to thank you again for coming on.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. You stay well. Okay.
You too, please. Ralph Pagano is our special guest next Monday night. And again, this is Songwriters Alive with Tom Cooney every Monday night at 7 o'clock. Please tune in. And those of you who did experience a stream blip, look for the recording on our Facebook pages and YouTube. We'll let you know where to find it as soon as the video is up. Thank you all very much for listening. Everyone be safe, be well, be kind. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Tom.